Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something pretty amazing for your eyes? We're talking lutein and zeaxanthin today.
Yeah, these compounds you find in food, they're like superstars for your eye health, especially as we get older.
I was reading this study called
Oh,
Lutein and Zeaxanthin and their roles in age-related macular degeneration neurodegenerative disease.
Let's see title.
Right, from 2022 by researchers at the Medical University of Lodz and the Jesuit University Ignatianum in Poland.
Wow.
Really interesting stuff. By the end of this deep dive, I think you'll know what these compounds are, why they're so important, and how they might help protect your vision.
Yeah, and it's not just about knowing what they are, right?
Right.
It's about understanding like how they work
Yeah.
at a cellular level. And then we'll get into age-related macular degeneration.
Okay, so first things first, what even are lutein and zeaxanthin?
Well, have you ever noticed how like kale and spinach have that really vibrant color?
Yeah.
It's lutein and zeaxanthin. They're carotenoids. They give plants those yellows and oranges.
Huh, so they're pigments, like natural food coloring.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And here's the thing. Our bodies can't make lutein and zeaxanthin.
Oh, wow.
We have to get them from food.
So that's why it's important to eat those colorful fruits and veggies.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, most adults only get like 1 to 2 milligrams of lutein each day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the recommendation is actually 10 milligrams.
Oh, that's a big difference. So we might be missing out.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, so let's zoom in on the eye for a second, specifically the macula.
Macula.
Yeah, that central part of the retina. It's what gives us that sharp, detailed vision.
It's what lets you read and recognize faces and see those fine details.
That's pretty important.
And guess what? Lutein and zeaxanthin are the only carotenoids that actually accumulate in the macula.
Hold on, so you're telling me there are compounds that specifically target this one part of the eye?
Pretty cool, right? They're called macular pigments.
Macular pigments. Interesting, but how do they actually get there?
So we have these proteins in our bodies,
Mm.
like star D3 and GSTP1.
Okay.
They act like little taxis, shuttling the lutein and zeaxanthin to the macula,
Wow, so it's like a targeted delivery system?
pretty much.
But what are they actually doing in the macula? Like, how do they help our vision?
Okay, well, to understand that, we need to talk about oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress. Isn't that like rust forming on a car?
Yeah, it's a good analogy, but in this case, it's happening in our cells,
Got it. And it's not good.
right? Too much oxidative stress can cause damage over time.
So lutein and zeaxanthin are like our rust proofing.
Exactly. They act as antioxidants,
Yeah.
fighting off those damaging free radicals.
They're like little warriors protecting our eyes.
I like that.
And oxidative stress is a major factor in age-related macular degeneration, right? Or AMD.
That's right. AMD is a leading cause of vision loss as we age.
Yeah, definitely want to avoid that.
And having those macular pigments like lutein and zeaxanthin can help protect against it.
Interesting. So it's like they're giving our eyes extra protection. And it could help us maintain our vision as we get older.
That's the idea. And you know what's even more fascinating?
What's that?
These benefits, they might not just be limited to our eyes.
Whoa, hold on. You're saying there's more?
We're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah.
But we'll get into all that in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. So let's talk about how we can make sure we're getting enough of these lutein and zeaxanthin. I know supplements are an option, but is there a better way?
Well, the research recommends focusing on getting it through food, especially foods rich in what are called xanthophylls.
Xanthophyll.
Yeah, that's the category that lutein and zeaxanthin fall under.
Got it.
And the best way to get them, think vibrant, colorful foods.
Okay, so we're talking about eating the rainbow.
Exactly. Those dark leafy greens we talked about, kale, spinach, collard greens, they're all superstars.
So all those green smoothies I see everywhere actually have some science behind them.
They do. But it's not just about green smoothies. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, peas, they all contribute.
Right. So we've got options.
Definitely. And don't forget about egg yolks. They're another great source of lutein and zeaxanthin.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those.
So many delicious ways to get your fill.
I love it. So it's all about adding more color to your plate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, well, this is just the beginning. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll uncover even more about the power of lutein and zeaxanthin. It's a deep dive you won't want to miss.
Absolutely.
All right, we're back. Still diving deep into lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds are like superheroes for your eyes.
Yeah, and we were talking about AMD, right? Age-related macular degeneration.
Right. We definitely don't want that to happen.
It's a leading cause of vision loss as we get older.
So in the last part, we talk about how lutein and zeaxanthin are like little shields protecting the macula from damage, but how does that actually work?
Okay, so AMD is complicated. It's not just one thing that causes it, but a big factor is this buildup of waste products in the macula.
Waste products, like what?
They're called drusen, and they're like little
Oh,
roadblocks that disrupt how the macula works.
drusen. I've heard that term before.
Yeah. And they can distort your central vision, like make straight lines look wavy, or even cause blind spots right in the center of your vision.
Oh, wow. That sounds bad.
Yeah, not good.
Okay, so we want to avoid those drusen, and lutein and zeaxanthin can help with that.
Exactly. It's like they have a multi-pronged defense system.
Okay, tell me more.
So first, remember how we talked about blue light from screens and the sun?
Yeah.
Well, lutein and zeaxanthin can actually filter out some of that harmful blue light before it reaches the macula.
So they're like internal sunglasses.
Pretty much.
That's amazing.
And then they also help strengthen the structure of cell membranes.
Cell membranes.
Yeah, in the macula, making them less susceptible to damage from those drusen deposits.
Oh, I see. So it's like they're reinforcing the walls of the macula.
Exactly, making it more resilient.
Okay, so we've got these compounds acting as filters and protectors, and even strengthening those macular cells. It really does sound like they're crucial for our vision as we age.
And while research is still ongoing, the evidence is really pointing in that direction. It makes you think about what you're eating right.
Definitely. Speaking of which, you mentioned certain foods are especially rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. Are we just talking about leafy greens here?
Leafy greens are definitely the all-stars. Kale, spinach, collard greens.
But what if you're not a huge salad person?
There are other options. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, peas.
Peas, really?
Yeah, and don't forget egg yolks. We talked about those earlier.
Right. And yellow corn, too.
Yep. So even if you're not into greens, you can still get these compounds.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. And it's not just about what you eat, but also how you prepare it.
Oh, interesting.
Cooking methods can actually impact how much lutein and zeaxanthin your body absorbs.
So how should we cook these foods?
Lightly cooked veggies tend to have higher bioavailability than raw ones, like a quick sauté or a light steam.
Ah, so a little heat helps.
It helps break down cell walls, making it easier to absorb those nutrients.
I see. And what about adding fat, like olive oil?
Yeah, that can actually enhance absorption too.
This is great. It's good to know that simple things like how we cook our food can make a difference.
Small changes can have big impacts over time.
You know, it's amazing how much depth there is to this topic. We're learning about these compounds on a microscopic level.
And then connecting it back to practical everyday things like how we cook.
It's really fascinating.
And we're not done yet. Remember that hint we dropped about benefits beyond vision?
Oh, yeah.
Get ready, because in the next part, we're going to explore how lutein and zeaxanthin could support other vital organs.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with part 3 to uncover even more about these incredible compounds. Welcome back, everyone. We've been on quite a journey with lutein and zeaxanthin.
Yeah, these powerful antioxidants that are so good for our eyes.
But like we hinted before, their benefits might go way beyond just vision.
It's amazing how something we associate with eye health could be doing so much more for us.
It's like this whole network of benefits we're uncovering. So where do we even start? What other parts of our body might benefit from these compounds?
Let's talk about skin. Remember how we said oxidative stress is a big part of AMD?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it also plays a huge role in skin aging.
So those wrinkles and fine lines we all try to avoid, oxidative stress is partly to blame.
You got it. The sun's UV rays, pollution, all that stuff contributes to oxidative stress. And it damages the collagen and elastin in our skin.
And those are the proteins that keep our skin looking young and healthy, right?
Exactly. So when those free radicals are running wild, our skin takes a hit.
But wait, doesn't that mean lutein and zeaxanthin could help here too?
That's the cool part. They're not just hanging out in the macula.
Oh, wow.
Studies suggest they can protect our skin from sun damage and pollutants too.
So they're like internal sunscreen for our skin.
I like that analogy.
It's really amazing.
And some studies even show they can improve skin elasticity and hydration, give it that healthy glow.
Okay, now I'm really interested. But let's move on to another vital organ, the heart. What about cardiovascular health?
No surprise here. Oxidative stress plays a role there too. It can damage blood vessels and contribute to plaque buildup.
Which increases the risk of heart attack and stroke.
Right. But guess what? Research suggests Lutein and zeaxanthin might be able to protect those blood vessels.
Really?
Yeah, they might help improve blood flow and even lower cholesterol levels.
So they're like little guardians of our cardiovascular system.
It's pretty incredible, right? How these plant pigments can have such widespread benefits.
And it really shows the power of nature and how important it is to get those nutrients from our diet.
Absolutely. It's like what benefits one part of your body benefits others. It's all connected.
And speaking of connected systems, what about the gut? We mentioned that earlier.
Oh, yeah. Remember those leafy greens packed with lutein and zeaxanthin? They're also full of fiber.
Right. Fiber is so good for a healthy gut microbiome.
Exactly. And a healthy gut is linked to pretty much everything. Digestion, immunity, you name it.
It's amazing how much research is coming out about the gut these days.
And some research even suggests lutein and zeaxanthin might have anti-inflammatory effects in the gut.
Oh, wow.
It could potentially protect against things like inflammatory bowel disease. It's still early, but very promising.
It's incredible to me how all this research, from eye health to skin health to heart health to gut health, is all pointing to the benefits of lutein and zeaxanthin.
It's like we're putting together this giant puzzle, seeing how these compounds impact our well-being.
It really underscores how interconnected our body systems are. What's good for one part is often good for others. It's that holistic approach to health.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, learning all of this has definitely inspired me to pay more attention to what I'm eating.
Me too. It's a good reminder that even small choices like what we eat can have a big impact on our health.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into lutein and zeaxanthin, what's the main takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest thing is that lutein and zeaxanthin are more than just eye nutrients. They're powerful antioxidants that could have benefits for our skin, heart, gut, and maybe even more. We're still learning, but what we know now tells us it's a good idea to include these compounds in our diets. Through those colorful fruits, veggies, and other healthy choices, it's a simple way to invest in our long-term health.
I couldn't agree more. And there you have it. We've reached the end of our deep dive into the amazing world of lutein and zeaxanthin. We hope you've learned a lot and enjoyed the journey with us. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding how our bodies work and what they need to thrive empowers us to make healthy choices. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those plates colorful.